All right, guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Hey, you remember that family? Family of three, and two of them got banned from Costa Rica forever because they overstayed their visa? Well, I got an update on that story, and I want you to vote on what you think happened. Do you think they got banned for life, or do you think they got into the country? And if you don't know the story, I'm going to recap it really quick so you can chime in. I would be very interested to see how this lands, especially you people that live here. Maybe you do perpetual tourism. Doesn't matter if you do or you don't. I want to know what you think happened. We're going to talk about it in a second, and I'm going to do this real quick. You know we're a travel agency. Where am I? Estorrillos Este at the Relocation Retreat. We do have another one coming up in late fall. We do not have the dates. But if you're interested in living in Costa Rica, but you're not quite sure, maybe this relocation retreat is for you. And I would love to see you here, but that information will be a little bit further down when we actually have the dates. It's beautiful here, though. Oh, it's supposed to be raining right now. This is rainy season. Woohoo! All right, here's what happened. About 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, I was going back to the United States to see my mom in Maine. Delay after delay after delay. We're all up at the gate. Mechanical failure, delay, delay, delay. And I got recognized a few times at the airport for making videos, and this family of three came up to me and said, "Hey, I like the videos." And I said, "Thank you." And they said, "Can we ask you a question?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "What happens if you overstay your 90-day visa?" Now, if you're not sure, they were living in Costa Rica, in Escazú, as perpetual tourists. That means they're not residents here, but they live here, and they have to leave every 90 days to get their passport stamped in or out and back in again. That's called perpetual tourism. And I said, "Well, how long are you late?" And they said 4 months. 4 months. So I said, "Well, it doesn't matter. You're at the gate. You already went through immigration. They didn't catch you. You're here. So there's not a problem. It doesn't matter." Well, as their luck would have it, our flight ended up getting canceled. So if you know anything about San Jose international flights, we had to leave the gate. We had to go back through immigration and, like go check in again. And they said, "Well, we might have a later flight at 11:30 at night. If you don't want to do that, we'll put you up at a hotel. We'll work something out tomorrow," all that. I was going to take the later flight if it was available, which it ended up being available. Well, when we went back through immigration, 2 of the 3 people got caught for being late the first time. That's Costa Rica right there for you. That's pretty much Costa Rica in a nutshell. Now, they ended up at my gate. So now they're leaving. They were put in a room. You can't come back ever again, but they said, "Well, you're leaving, so get on the plane and don't come back." And they were talking to me. I met them up at the gate, and they told me, "Hey, and one of them got through, right? The father got through. And I said, "Well, maybe I can help you. Maybe I can, give you an immigration person that can help you work this out." Because again, they were living here. They have their stuff here. And they were told 2 can't come back. So I asked them, "Can you please let me know what happened? I'd be very interested." And they said yes. Well, I got an email, what was it, a day or 2 ago, and I know what happened. I want you to vote and tell me what happened. But here's the problem. I had made a video prior to all this, about like a week or 2 before, about perpetual tourism, that they're cracking down, and they are, or they're giving people hard times. That's for sure, because I know people personally that they're giving hard times too. So I'm like, oh man, they're giving people hard times. So I knew that was, a potential problem. The other thing is, what happened at that night that they got banned from Costa Rica, Costa Rica can do 2 things. They can charge you $100 for each month that you're over. They were over 4 months, so each person's $400. That's what, $1,200, whatever it is. The other thing they can do is ban you from Costa Rica 3 times the amount you stayed over. So 3 times 4 is 12, so they would have been banned for a year. Costa Rica didn't do either one of those 2. They banned them for good. So I'm thinking, well, we all know Costa Rica you got to bark worse than its bite. Maybe they didn't really mean it. Or they have been clamping down, and did they get banned? So I'm going to vote. I'm going to pin my comment. You guys need to be honest. What do you think happened? Did they get back in or did they not get back in? This would have happened a few years ago, I would have my answer, but I was really like 50-50 on this. Well, here's what happened. They got back in. No problem. Nothing. That's it. Banned for life. No, they weren't. Came back 3 weeks later, which were 2.5 weeks, whatever it was. He told me, wrote me, said nothing happened. There was no issues. They even had 12 pieces of luggage. And this is the problem about living in Costa Rica. You know how stressful that shit is? That's stressful. You have a house here or something, and they're like, you can never come back. So that's extremely stressful. They did. He did write me in his email. They learned their lesson. They're gonna do some precautions or go for digital nomad residency or whatever. But I just thought it was very interesting because it's always been a bark is worse than its bite, but they could have definitely, if they would have been banned, I would have believed that too. But they weren't, and this tells you, this is just the problem with living in Costa Rica. There's just nothing black and white. If that happened again, maybe they ban the next people. They were 4 months over and they didn't do anything to them. No fine, no, you can't come back for a year, nothing. All right, man, and this is why it's hard giving information about Costa Rica, because everyone's got a different experience. Everyone's, got a different story to tell. So I got to tell you, I was going to get this. I got this one wrong, only because there was too many stories out there in the last month, and I really thought maybe they got banned for good. So I got this one wrong. I went against my own judgment because I'm the one that says it's always bark worse than its bite here, and it usually is, and it was. So anyway, guys, thought that was interesting. What did you vote? I can't wait to see the tally of this. I think it might be interesting. I'm Michael Allen, travelcostarica.com. Peace, guys. Hope it helps. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my week at Estarios Este, Sunset Del Mar. Hey, things are going to pop up. Thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. If it's Costa Rica, I'll put our videos up against anybody's. All right, let's turn it off. Check it out. Do. Yeah.